Checking with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Heggen. So many fires burning across the state, and those temperatures aren't helping.
Right. We got a break from the heat today. Other parts of the state have not been that lucky, and we're not going to be that lucky over the course of the next 3 days. We have heat advisories and excessive heat warnings that go back into effect tomorrow, and those are going to continue as we head through the end of the work week. So in orange, we do have the heat advisories. Inland in the East Bay, that's where it's an excessive heat warning, and beyond the Bay Area, see how far to the edge of our studio that excessive heat warning extends through much of the Central Valley. So what's causing all of this? Let's take a look at the big picture pattern here, and the return of the heat dome is responsible. It didn't drift that far away from us, and now it's going to be drifting back in our direction. What's eventually going to end this little spell of hot weather is a little ripple off the coast of Southern California. It's going to be scooting up the coast towards us, and that's going to finally bring an end to that heat as we hit the end of the work week on Friday. For some reason, my maps are stuck there, so let's see if we can get things restarted. We got a bunch of people standing over by my map. Oh, okay. I froze up entirely. Let's take a look at what we have in store for us as we head through the next several days. And somebody tell me what is happening right now. I think our map has completely locked up. There we go. As we go through the course of the next few days, live TV is fun. The inland heat is going to return. The heat dome builds back towards us. That ripple I mentioned off the coast, that's going to help to crack the heat, but it's also going to send some of that smoke from the lake fire burning in Santa Barbara County up towards the Bay Area, at least in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So it's something we're going to have to watch very carefully over the course of the next several days. That's not smoke. That's just fog that's rolling in, and it's only 64 degrees downtown, just below 70 right now in Oakland. In the 70s in San Jose and Santa Rosa, temperatures in the mid-80s in Livermore and in Concord, so those numbers are normal for this time of year. Now, the fog is going to spread back out, reduce visibilities for most of the Bay Area as we begin the day tomorrow. That should back up out of the inland valleys quickly all the way to the coast as we head towards late morning, so even away from the coast by midday. Along the coast, you're not going to see a big warm up in temperatures, but what you are going to see is a little bit more sunshine peeking through those clouds. Let's take a look at where our low temperatures are going to end up by early tomorrow morning, as the fog is going to be with us to begin the day at least. Our temperatures are going to begin mostly in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees, just above 60 in San Jose. Temperatures are going to bottom out in the 50s for much of the Bay Area, just above 60 degrees in Antioch. You can see the fog right through the Golden Gate by early tomorrow morning. Let's get that out of the way so you can clearly see the temperatures in San Francisco and Oakland, mid-50s there. With the North Bay, the usual cool spots dipping down into the lower half of the 50s as we begin the day on Wednesday. But despite that normal start, our temperatures are really going to take off. So high temperatures for tomorrow, getting up into the triple-digit territory inland in the East Bay, between 100 and 105 degrees. This is where that excessive heat warning is in effect. Around the Bay, 70s and 80s in San Francisco and Oakland, but 90s down the peninsula, into the 90s in the Santa Clara Valley, into the 90s for the North Bay as well. But along the coast, only in the mid-60s for those high temperatures tomorrow. So will we set any records? Well, certainly not in San Francisco and Oakland. The onshore influence, at least, keeps us well short of record territory. But even where temperatures are going to be hotter, the closest we're going to be is within 6 or 7 degrees of those daily records. And even with hotter temperatures in store on Thursday, it also looks like we're going to be falling short of record territory by Thursday afternoon. Even 108 degrees in Livermore is below Thursday's record high temperature of 111 degrees. So we can be thankful for that. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll start inland, where the heat will start to break on Friday, but it's not really going to crack until we hit the weekend. That's when temperatures are going to return to closer to normal levels, which will still be warm. It's July after all, but they're not going to be excessively hot. Temperatures around the Bay, a couple days in the low to mid 80s, and then back to the 70s, even back to the lower half of the 70s by the weekend and early next week. While along the coast, again, you'll see more sunshine the next few days, not the gray skies that you had yesterday and today, but the gray skies will be back, especially by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and your temperatures will return to familiar territory in the low 60s, which means layer up a little bit if you're heading to Stern Grove on Sunday.